Here we go. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to HLA Join the Conversation about Walk for Hearing. Thank you for joining us. My name is Carla Byers-Smolin. I am the Chapter and Membership Coordinator for HLA and your host this evening. Our presenters are Ronnie Adler and Ann Rencourt, HLA's Walk for Hearing managers. I will go over some technical tips to get started, and then I will turn this over to our presenters. I'm going to get started here. We ask that you please hold questions until the end of the presentation. We'd like to encourage people to tell us where you're from. If you click on the three dots on your thumbnail picture, you can include your name, chapter, or location. Captions are available for the meeting. You can click on the CC icon and show subtitles. You can change the caption size by going into subtitle settings. This full transcript also is available. You can't use full transcript in full screen mode. You'll have to be out of full screen mode to see that. The chat window is available. You can click on the chat box to move it away if it's overlapping the captions if you join by computer. Feel free to use the chat to help others and for technical questions. You can identify yourself by name, chapter, or location as well. Please hold any questions for later in the after the presentation is done. We want to use another option for asking questions. Please do not use the chat box. Use the raise hand option in the reactions button to ask a question. We will be taking turns after the presentation is over. You should be seeing the meeting in a side-by-side mode if you join by computer. There's a shared screen with the PowerPoint on the left and presenters on the right. You should be able to hover in between to adjust your view. If you join by mobile device, you'll have a different view. You'll have to scroll between views to get your desired one. We just ask that you speak a little slower when you ask a question, just to aid understanding for us and for the CUT reporter. So I'll go ahead, I went ahead and covered the tech tips, and now I'll turn this over to Ann. Go ahead, Ann.
Thank you, Carla. So I'm Ann Rencourt, and I am the Walk for Hearing manager at the Hearing Loss Association of America. And I can relate to many of you here today. So I'm glad to see everyone here today, familiar faces and new ones who want to step up for hearing health. So welcome. And I just want to also say a few things about me. I was born with hearing loss. I've worn hearing aids for many years, and now I have bilateral cochlear implants. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio originally, and 5 years ago, I moved out here to be part of this great organization and to work at the Walk for Hearing. And one of my fondest memories of the Walk for Hearing is when I was on my first walk in New York City. There were 800 people there, maybe more. And getting up on that stage and to see all these individuals there and what they were just amazing. And I had goosebumps. And it's amazing what the power of the Walk for Hearing can do to bring people together on the day of. So I would like to turn it over to Ronnie Adler, who has been part of this program since its very beginning. Ronnie.
Thank you, Ann. Well, it's good to see everybody here, and I'm so excited we're here together. You know, I'm Ronnie Adler, and I'm the Senior Walk for Hearing manager, and I myself have a hearing loss. My hearing loss was discovered at the age of 3, and with 3 older siblings, nobody had any idea that I had a hearing loss. So obviously, I was a good buffer and a follower. So growing up, I had a mild to moderate hearing loss, and I didn't know anyone with a hearing loss except so-and-so's grandmother. So obviously, I didn't know anybody. So in 1988, I woke up completely deaf from a virus. And I decided I needed to be part of different organizations. So I was a member of FHHH, which is the old name of HLAA, NAD, and AG Bell. And I thought I would do good. I pay my dues every year, and I'm fine. In 1994, I went to my first HLAA meeting, and I realized 2 things. Number 1, I found my calling in life. And number 2, I realized all the money that my parents spent on therapy was a waste of time and money. So it was great to be with all the people that really understand who I am and what we're about. I'm grateful to HLAA. In 2006, HLAA, wait, let me see if I could share my screen. Okay, all right, we have to go back. Okay, so in 2006, HLAA decided to start a pilot program called Walk for Hearing in 6 cities. They had no idea what it was going to look like. You know, they thought, okay, let's see if we can raise $25,000 with the 6 walks. Well, it turned out that we raised over $300,000. So we knew that this is a viable program and we wanted to grow. So since then, we have had 285 walks and have raised over $16 million, which is phenomenal. We are the only nationwide program that raised awareness about hearing loss and to raise funds to do hearing health importance. So it was great to have everyone here and to start the program. And now, okay. So what is Walk for Hearing? Walk for Hearing brings attention to hearing loss. There are 48 million people with hearing loss in this country. And you know, the average person takes 7 years before they do something about their hearing loss. There's also every 1,000 babies that are born, 2 or 3 have a hearing loss or deaf. So it's really critical that we are here together and to raise awareness. We also have Walk for Hearing to empower and celebrate the community, that we are together and to support one another. And of course, we're not alone. And then there's the importance of hearing health, which is about hearing screenings, which I will explain later on. And then we've got support, awareness, and education programs. We have a lot of organizations that have benefited from the Walk for Hearing, and there are national, local alliances, and then there are HLAA state and chapters. So they've benefited from the Walk for Hearing. So what alliances, what are they? They're nonprofit organizations, schools and hospitals, and they provide services for people with hearing loss. So it's a great revenue sharing plan, and it's pretty unique for Walk for Hearing. Before the pandemic, Walk for Hearing had a call to action of getting your hearing screened. So we had hearing screening vans at the Walk site, and people would get their hearing tested at the Walk. But because of the pandemic, we had to change and shift gears. And we started a thing called Hear Now, Be Well. And we created some graphics that you could promote as well. You could put it in social media, your newsletter, blast email, anything you could do to help educate people about Hear Now, Be Well. It's important for us to think about hearing health, you know, getting your hearing screened, protect your ears from excessive noise, or speak up if you can't hear or what have you. So we've got Walk for Hearing Weekend on June 12th and 13th. What does that mean? So there are 7 spring locations, and we merged them together by region to have a celebration. So Saturday, we have one celebration of Bay Area and Long Beach, another celebration of Connecticut with Westchester, Rockland. Then on Sunday, we have another celebration of Michigan, Milwaukee, and Nashville. So we're all there to support one another. Walk for Hearing Weekend. I have to tell you, last year's celebration was phenomenal. People did not expect the different things that was going to happen, and it was far better than what they expected. Well, let me tell you, this year is even better. So we're going to have people sharing their story, teams and walkers and alliances and sponsors are going to share their story. And we have different guests, DJ Denners, Mandy Harvey, and No Limits for Deaf Children. There will be some surprises. And of course, we want all of you to join us. Here is a picture on the screen from the Houston Walk. Everybody's very excited about being together. So after the celebration, we would love for you to take a walk in your neighborhood. Now, what does that look like? It could be a lot of things. So, but on this picture here, on the left is a team called Team Avery from the Bay Area Walk for Hearing. And on the right is Team Ben from Michigan Walk for Hearing. And what they did was they had their family and friends take a walk in the neighborhood, take pictures, and then they made a collage out of it and shared it with everybody. They went to support the kid, and this is what their walk in the neighborhood looked like. You could also do your own Stein. You could just print something and show your walk the hearing spirit. Maybe you could meet at a park or have a picnic. You know, you keep your social distancing, you wear your team t-shirts. You could do a lot of different things, but the key is to take a walk in the neighborhood after the celebration. So we want all of you to get involved. There's lots of different ways to get involved. You could register for the walk, make a donation, of course, share your walk for hearing spirit, and then, you know, like the pages and social media, and of course, attend the online celebration. I'm now going to turn this over to Anne, because Anne is going to explain everything about the website and from there. So it's good to see all of you.
Thank you, Ronnie. Tim, can you go ahead and share your screen? All right, thank you. So Walk for Hearing website, the first thing that is walkforhearing.org. Type in walkforhearing.org. And then you will be on the Walk for Hearing website. And then once you're there, go ahead and take a look through the site. We have many information on the homepage that's very resourceful. That will also help you navigate what we're doing throughout the next couple of months. So if you look at the top here, we have Why We Walk, Find a Walk, Community, and My Walk Center. Under Community, I would like to bring attention to the toolkit. As Ronnie was discussing with you all, that you can download social media graphics. So we have the Here Now Be Well graphics here. Feel free to download all of them all at once and to be able to share them on social media. We also have graphics for recruitment and fundraising, as well as partner resources. So if you're an HLA chapter, an alliance, or sponsor, feel free to download those and post them on social media. So now I am going to take you to Find a Walk. This is where all the fun begins. So once you're on the Find a Walk page, this is how you guys get involved with the Walk Before Hearing. So as you scroll down, we have 7 walks that are active on our walk website. And the fall walks will be put up by the end of this month, early June. So fall walkers, hold on, okay? You guys are coming. So now as we're gonna go ahead and register and find out more information about each of those walks. So for example, I also want to indicate, let's say for example, if you are in the state of New Hampshire and there's no walk in New Hampshire, feel free to join any of those walks. So in this case, I'm going to join the Connecticut walk. So I'm going to click on register. So once I'm on the Connecticut Walk for Hearing page, it tells you all of the information about that particular walk. You will also be able to go to the Connecticut Walk for Hearing social media Facebook page. You also have Twitter and Instagram for your convenience to be able to get to. So feel free to like, follow, and share. So as we scroll down on the Connecticut Walk page, walk details will appear here with the date of the walk, location, which is an online celebration for our spring walk. You can access the celebration by clicking on ASHNet information. The central local walk shares. Feel free to reach out to the local walk share for anything related to the Connecticut walk. And for the Walk for Hearing manager, they are the ones that can really help you with getting registered and so forth. And we have our Walk Day online celebration information already published, so feel free to check that out when you get a chance. And all of the special guests that we have that will be joining us on the day of. And as you go down on the page, when you click on sign up to join the celebration, this is where you can sign up. And then you can submit your RSVP. You can also have a chance to win a prize. So when you guys register and you show up on the day of the walk, you guys may have an opportunity to win one of those 3 prizes. Then we have Connect with the Community. Ronnie was talking about our Community Central on Facebook. So when you go on those local walk pages, you can easily find it there. Also, download our Wire Walk sign. The Wire Walk sign is a sign that you can click on. When you print it, you write your short statement while you walk. Take a selfie, a picture, and share it on social media. And don't forget to include hashtag Walk for Hearing. That way, everybody can see you if you're part of the walk. And all of our alliances are listed here, which Ronnie talked about earlier. They are fundraising for their organization, and you too can also support them as well. If you know of any organizations that are not on this list, feel free to reach out to the walk share, the walk managers, and we'll be able to help you take that next step. Now, I'm going to go back up to the top of the page. So let's say you want to look for a walker or a search for a team, or maybe you want to join a team. So using this search functionality is how you can do that. So you can search for a walker. I'm going to search for myself. And then you click on the magnifying glass. And then that result will pop up. So I'm going to go to find a team. And then search on the magnifying glass. And then you'll be able to find Team Rancourt. And when you do that, and you click on Team Rancourt, for example, that would be the team page. And you can join a team from here by clicking on there. Or if you wanted to start a brand new team or join as an individual walker, feel free to click on register as a team captain, register to join a team, or register as an individual. So I'm going to go ahead and take you through the registration process very quickly. So I'm going to click on register as a team captain. So I'm going to enter a team name. And then the fundraising goal would be 500. And then you can go through this process and do as you would like to do. You can make a donation if you like. So through here, I'm going to go ahead and enter the information very quickly. You can choose your teacher size. So when you raise $100 or more, you can get a teacher. And this portion number 2, this is where you can designate the fund to an alliance, and that's very important. So as you go through the registration process, you will see a whole list of alliances that you can choose from. So I'm going to choose HLAA National, for example. And then just go ahead and fill out all the other questions. And then I'm going to go to the next step to be able to take me through the process. And I'm going to accept the waiver. And then I'm going to complete my registration. So now I can access my walk center. There are two different ways that you can access your walk center. So when you go to, you can find my walk center here. And you can also find the walk center login page from that local walk underneath the image. So this is where we can log in. Hey, Tim, if you don't mind, can I log in under Walk Center? Will it be this one? Sorry, everyone. Alright, so now you're logged into the Walk Center. And so I registered through Connecticut and then I got into the Connecticut Walk for Hearing Walk Center. So on this main page, what's really cool about it is you can be able to see all of the different items that are at your store. So let's say, for example, if you want to make a t-shirt, go ahead and download one of those two logos and be able to create your t-shirt. We also have fundraising tips and a step-by-step presentation on how to connect to your Facebook fundraiser. And we also have other how-to documents as well. So feel free to reach out to Ronnie and myself, and we'll be happy to get you through the process. So when you raise $100 or more, you will get a Walk for Hearing t-shirt. When you raise $350 or more, you get a hat. So it's really amazing. So before I get into the Facebook fundraiser, I'm going to scroll down to where you will see your personal page. It's very important that you create your personal page before you connect to the Facebook fundraiser or even begin fundraising, because the personal page is a great opportunity to share your story, and that's where your donor can connect to. So it's awesome. So what you can do is, with your fundraising progress, go ahead and edit your fundraising goal on a personal level. So that goal would be 200. And now I'm going to save my personal page, which is the URL. So let's say I want to change it to Team Walk for Hearing. And then I click on Save. Okay. So then also I can edit the title of my personal fundraising page or the page itself. So feel free to edit them. And then you can do the same thing. You can edit this so that you can be able to share your story. So for example, hearing loss runs in my family. My older brother had the hearing loss and my nephew had the hearing loss as well. So I use that as part of my story to tell my potential donors. I think it's why I walk. And a really good opportunity to also upload a picture of yourself or your team so that people can be able to resonate with it. Now, once you have done your personal page, and if you're a team captain, you can go ahead and click on My Team next to Me. And from there, it's very similar to your personal page. You'll be able to see your team page right there. And also, when you click on this link, that can also become a preview for you to be able to see your page there. Now, once you have already gotten your storyline down and all of that ready to go, the next step is you're ready to let the whole world know that you're walking for hearing. So one of those options is to go up to share your email, which is right next to the home tab. This is a great opportunity to be able to send email to your friends and family. So let's go ahead and add some contact. You guys may notice that the Walk Center is very different this year because we were able to upgrade it, and that makes everything a lot easier for our walker to be able to navigate, and we love that. So I am going to add contact. So I'm going to go to all contacts. Now I want to add a contact, so I click on add contact. Then you enter the first and last name. And add. And then I'm going to click on Ann Rancourt because I want to email Ann Rancourt. And then that name and email will appear up there. Then the great thing about being able to use the template, they are pre-made and ready for you. So we have different double templates. We have Storming on Walk Day. We have Keep It Up Team. Can I count on you? You've made a difference. And have you seen my fundraising page? It's almost time. So let's say, for example, I want to ask my friends and family to join my team. I would click on Storming on Walk Day. And then as I scroll down, I'm going to go ahead and look at the metrics and see if I like the metrics. You guys are more than welcome to change this so that it's more personalized, and that's what we would recommend. And you will see different images at the bottom. We have 5 different ones. So go ahead and choose one that you like. And I'm going to click on preview and send because I'm ready to send my metrics. So the image should appear up there. Right now it's not, but it's okay. It's gonna work okay. And then you check the metrics. And just so that you guys are all aware, the personal page and the team page link will automatically go at the bottom of your metrics when you send it. So you don't have to worry about including that in your metrics. And then once I'm happy with it, I'll go ahead and click on send. And it's ready to go. So feel free to also check back in every once in a while. So let's say if you want to send a request for donation, you want to click on Can I Count on You? If you want to send a thank you message, click on You've Made a Difference. So I'm going to go to the home tab of the main Walk Center. The next part is very easy. The Facebook fundraiser is the easiest thing that you can do, and you can very quickly raise money. There is a team at the Milwaukee Walk for Hearing. They registered on that one day, and they connected to their Facebook. And on that same day, they raised $3,000, and that is very impressive. So feel free to go ahead and connect it to your personal page. I'm not going to do that sample through here. However, if you go to the main body of the Walk Center, you'll be able to click on step-by-step presentation that will show you how to connect to your personal page. And one of the things that I also want you guys to keep in mind before you do that, please update your personal page, because when you update your personal page, all of that information will automatically transfer to your Facebook fundraiser. All right, so I think I've covered everything through my Walk Center and the Walk website. And so I'm gonna go ahead and go back to the PowerPoint and we'll open it up for questions and answers. Thank you. So if you guys have any questions or anything that you want to know more about the Walk Begin, please raise your hand, or under reaction, is there a raise hand option there? No.
Hey, Alan Costello, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hi, I think you missed a very important part when you're going through the emails. And that's the guide on the left-hand side that shows the progress of your emails, which ones you've sent, who you have donated, who has received a thank you reply. So you've kind of skipped over that. And I think that's a very important part of the process.
Thank you. Thank you, Alan. Tim, can you go ahead and share your screen again with the Walk Center?
Yeah, sure. Just hang on.
So Tim, there we go. Okay. So, and underneath the email, there's all these options here. When you download and import all of your contacts, but our system does it recognizes emails and individuals that you have not emailed, that you have emailed, and those who have donated. And also opportunities to send out emails to unthanked donors. So they're all there ready to go for you, and you can easily go through that to be able to determine what email to send out. Thank you, Alan. I appreciate it. Anyone have any questions?
I don't have a question, but I wanted to point out that also that topic you just went over, if you connect to your Facebook page and you invite people in the Facebook page, those contacts will also show up. It seems like they also show up in the email section on your Walk page.
So I'm going to rephrase the question, and then let me know if I didn't understand that correctly.
Yeah, it's not really a question. It's just more adding information, added information that, yeah, just a note that I connected through the Facebook fundraiser. And because I invited people to donate, those contacts came into that email section on that page. So I was just sharing additional information.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alan?
Okay, so I admit I wasn't fully paying attention to everything being said, but did you go over the profile section?
No, I did not go over the profile section. It's very self-explanatory.
Right.
In the
I know it's
profile section.
I know it's self-explanatory, but you should point out that that should be one of the first things people do is fill out the information, because some of that information transfers into the rest of the flow of the rest of the site.
Thank you. So the profile section is available next to the tab with email. And in that profile section gives you the opportunity to make sure that your address is right, your name, your email, your username. And there's also an opportunity there that you can reset or change your password there as well, among other items as well.
Are there any questions? Covered it so well, Anne, we have no questions. Wow.
It is a great opportunity to be able to ask a question. Go ahead, Ronnie.
I have a question, Sally Edwards. I am not a tech person. So this was very hard for me to follow. It was so fast. But thank you for it anyhow. It helped some. Last year when I was struggling to get a few people who wanted to donate online and couldn't figure it out either, and I couldn't help them either, I asked Ronnie, what can we do? And Ronnie, you gave me my own team, whatever it was, that they could click on, and that's all they had to do. Can we do something like that? To make it really simple for people, because I write letters, email letters, send them out. And if I could just say, here's the link, click on this, and you can, avoid all of going through all the other stuff. Is that a possibility this year?
Anne, do you want to answer?
So are you saying that when making a donation, you want to be able to guide people where to donate?
That I'm asking them to donate to my team. That's who I'm asking them to donate to. So if they know how to do it just by clicking on one link, that's simple.
I'll explain more. So Sally, what I did was I copy and paste the URL of your page, and I gave you the link to your page. And when you send the email to your family and friends with that URL, they were able to click that and make a donation. We could certainly do that again as well. So Anne, do you think we should show people how to copy and paste the URL? It could show them where it is, and that will take them directly to their page.
Sure. It's just a walk website.
Okay, and no problem.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is the walk website and this is the team page. So I'm gonna click on an individual walker and Vancourt. And then on this page, where you go up to here, this is where you can grab that URL of your personal page. Right click and copy. And then you will go to the email that you're composing and you can paste that link in your email. Does that help?
It explains it, but I'm going to be in touch with Ronnie again. I can tell you before I send my letter out later in the week. Help me, Ronnie, to make sure I have the right one. It's just a little fast for me, and I am a dunce on the computer. What can I say? It's the truth.
Okay, that sounds good. And also, I just want to also briefly indicate that donors can make a donation only on their personal page. There's no option for them to make a donation on the team page. It just has join team. So when you click on the individual walker, in this case, Anne Vancourt, there's a donate now button. And that will take you to the donation form and fill out the information and submit their donation. Ronnie, I think you had something you wanted to indicate.
Oh, I'm sorry, did you call on me? I have, so my question is, when the email as it exists, because I will tell you, you can't read anything on the forms. I think it might have been a good idea to use the accessibility features of the web page so that everything was larger, so we could see what you were clicking on and things, something for the future. But when that puts the letter together, it does not include automatically a link to my page to donate.
Right, so in the Rock Center,
We have to enter that ourselves in the, I think that's something that should be automatically there, because the most important thing about the email is to please donate. And if there was the default should just be automatically added in there, so that there are no, so there's no question about it. The person that's writing the letter, and there's no mistyping or anything like that. So just a suggestion for down the road.
right, so let me also indicate when you're ready to send out a message like you see here, the link for the personal page and the team page is automatically added to the bottom. So once you compose everything, it's not going to be in here. And then when you click on preview and send, the preview will come up. So you can see a message here that the link will automatically be added after you have sent the message.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Alan?
So the best thing to do is send yourself an email, so you'll actually see how it really comes out. Because you'll have the picture, the header, and the link on the email.
That is a great tip. Thank you.
Right, Anne? Yeah, so would you be able to show people how to go onto the homepage and look at the top teams and the top walkers, and they hover and they click the hyperlink?
Sure. So at the moment, I am on the Long Beach Walk for Hearing page. If you scroll down, you will indicate, you will also see that we have, Long Beach has raised so far $10,000, and they have a goal of $35,000. We also have a team honor roll and rocket honor roll, along with top fundraiser. It's great work that everyone is doing, raising funds for the community. So if you click on any one of these teams or individuals, you can click on them and be able to see what their personal page is, how much they've raised, and the achievements that they've gotten. If you make a personal donation, you will receive a red badge as a personal gift. And we have some fun initiatives, and that is something new this year, where once you raise 500, 1,000, 1,500, and so forth, you will get different milestones that will include these badges. So they're really fun to be able to do.
Anne and Ronnie, there's a question in the chat box from Eloise Schwartz. She's asking, how do you transfer one state to another state?
So the question is that is this person already registered on a walk and then want to transfer to another walk?
Eloise, do you want to unmute yourself and ask the question again?
Yeah, I had my team in Milwaukee, but now I'm in Florida. And my active team in Milwaukee still has me in Milwaukee. But if I want to set up something in Florida, I have to undo my team in Milwaukee and restart in Florida. So how do I transfer the one to the other?
So that is a great question. I think in your case, right now, we do not have a walk in Florida. So you're joining the Milwaukee Walk, I'm assuming based on that, you want to be able to join the walk and be part of this community, correct?
Yeah, well, we're going to be, I'm not physically in Milwaukee anymore. I'm in Florida. And when our Florida one begins our fall walk down here, we're going to be teaming up with Buffalo. And I need to be able to transfer my account from Milwaukee to my account down here in Florida. And
I
I've
think-
not done anything with my Milwaukee account since I transferred down here in 2019. So I need for that account, it tells me that I need to be doing something with the Milwaukee Walk, and I'm not doing anything there because I don't live there.
I think I know what your case is now. I'm kind of coming back to me. So if you wanted to join Buffalo Walk in the fall, for example.
Yeah, because we don't have, Tallahassee was supposed to have walks, but they stopped doing that because they don't have anybody to run the walks in Florida. So, until we get that started again and I get somebody moving to get that done, I'm going to start talking to the Council for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing on next week to see whether or not we can get this started in Florida. But in the meantime, I'm going to see whether or not we can get baby steps started, and work with Buffalo to get the realization that we need to start thinking about this once again. And I'll work with Judy in Tallahassee that we start bringing this up to everybody's recognition. But I have my account still with the Milwaukee, so I need to know how I can transfer that to my Sun City Center here in Florida, which is about 30 miles south of Tampa.
Yeah, you can definitely join any other walk. And once you register for another walk, all of that information automatically transferred over to another walk, no matter which walk you've registered for. Ronnie, I don't know if you have anything else you want to indicate. We can't hear you.
Yes, that information is correct. As far as planning a walk in Florida or something in the future, we don't know right now. So, because of the pandemic, we're just putting some new walks on ice. So that's the beauty of virtual. You could attend any walk. So, but, if you're thinking about something in the future, in Florida, let's talk at the end of the year, but it's a little more complicated. So let's talk if you're thinking
Okay.
about planning a walk in Florida, because there's a lot to it.
Yeah, I know. I kind of, figured that, this is something that we can work on in the future, but I'm just wondering what I should do with my website.
Okay.
So,
Okay, well, I think we should just, let's talk in another time after this meeting and we could go over some things.
okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay.
Alan, you have another question? Go ahead, unmute.
Just a comment for Eloise that she should also make sure she changes her information in her profile. That has her address and stuff in there. And if there's anything that's mailed to her, like T-shirt or anything, that's the address they're going to use to send it. So if it's not current, she's not going to get it.
Yeah, no, I already have my T-shirts. I already have my hats. I already have plenty because Milwaukee, has had 12 different walks. I remember when I was chapter leader, BJ can attest to that. We had many walks. I mean, Ronnie came many times. So, we had lots going on. in the Milwaukee area, so I know very well what happens, with the Walk for Hearing, so thank you. We're gonna do that down here too, so.
We have another question in the chat. Has Austin ever had a walk? I live here and I've reached out to HLA, but I've not heard back. Laura Taylor asked this question. Laura, did you want to expound on that? Or you're just asking if there's a walk in Texas or in Austin?
So Anne, would you like to answer that question in terms of Texas? Okay, all right. So I don't know anything about someone reach out about starting a walk in Austin, but no, I have to tell you, we get emails from people all over the country that would like to start a walk. And we would love to have it in every city, but it's just not doable. The manpower is very difficult to manage. There's Ann and I, and so we have to think of a lot of things in terms of planning a walk. There's the criteria that we need to check. There's cochlear implant centers and hearing aid audiology practices. There's HLAA chapters in the area and different potential alliances. So there's a lot involved. I do know that there is talk about getting all the chapters involved, especially in Houston. I think it would be great for Austin to join the Houston Walk for Hearing. You could sign a chapter alliance agreement and be involved with the Houston Walk, especially because we're all virtual right now. I think that that would be the ideal thing right now. If Eloise is talking about Florida, this person is talking about Austin, it just gets hard. So we want to make this walk very strong and healthy. So I hope that answered your question.
I think the one thing about the virtual option is that chapters can participate from anywhere virtually. And that's the key thing to this whole aspect of the pandemic right now, is that we're not bound by state lines right now. We can join the virtual walk and be part of the walk from anywhere, from Alaska to Hawaii to Florida. So there's that option there. So we're not restricted by state lines right now. So we need to encourage folks to really get involved. So, and this is definitely a virtual event, so anybody can join from anywhere. So really encourage everyone to push that. So I think I don't see any other questions. Anybody else have any questions? Ready. Alrighty. Well, friends, I think we've covered a lot of ground tonight. If we don't have any questions, I'll close out the meeting. I thank everybody for joining this evening, and I thank Lonnie and Ann for their enlightening presentation about the walk. I also need to thank Sharon Vivian for her great card services tonight. And this meeting will be posted to the HLA and the Walk for Hearing website, so we'll be able to be viewed at a later time. I thank you all for joining us tonight, and I hope you all stay safe and be well, and we'll see you next time. All right, have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you, bye-bye.